you feel being back downtown, my friend?
Bro, it's been a minute, man. I'm always downtown in the weekend, obviously for church, but Tour des Canadiens, it's been a minute. It's been a good minute.
Ouais, ça, tu viens ici des fois pour. Ben, tu viens pour travailler, des fois.
Ici?
Ouais.
Downtown? Pas tant, je te dirais. C'est plus Rive-Sud, je fais mes meetings, là. Plus en Rive-Sud.
Ah ouais, principalement sur Rive-Sud.
Principalement. C'est plus ces zones-là que je travaille ces temps-ci. Puis, oh, it's good, man.
Yeah.
Do I look good?
Bro, you always look good.
Thank you, man.
Always sharp.
You
Always
too. I should have brought a suit.
cutting edge.
Damn, I should have brought a suit.
Fashion.
Man.
Yeah, usually you have a lot of good suits. Yeah.
Man.
Next time, bro.
Next time.
Next time.
Yeah.
Écoute, mon chum, je suis content qu'on fasse ça ensemble.
Yes, sir.
T'es vraiment le genre d'ami, tu sais, je pense que ça fait comme 8 ans qu'on se connaît maintenant.
8-9, je pense.
8-9 ans.
Ouais.
Mais t'es le genre d'ami que on a vraiment une vraie amitié parce que il y a des années qu'on peut se voir
Ouais.
3-4 fois par mois. Il y a d'autres années on peut se voir juste 2 fois par année. Mais notre amitié puis notre relation change jamais. Je pense que ça, c'est vraiment la vraie définition d'une vraie amitié.
Yes.
Fait que je respecte beaucoup ça de toi, mon chum. Puis j'ai beaucoup appris de toi dans les dernières années sur plusieurs domaines. Je pense que la dernière fois qu'on a eu une bonne conversation, c'était en avril. On avait brunché ensemble.
Ouais.
Puis, mais il s'est passé beaucoup de choses depuis ce temps-là
Ouais.
avec toi. Première chose, first of all, you had your first kid, your first
Yes,
child.
my baby girl, Nara. Ouais, man, ça a changé, puis ma vie est vraiment extraordinaire en ce moment-là, encore plus qu'avant.
Wow. Fait que
Ma
là, ça
fille-
fait 1 mois et demi, c'est ça?
1 mois et demi, elle a déjà 1 mois et demi, puis elle grandit tellement vite, man. Tenir cet enfant, puis entendre son cœur battre, ça fait autre chose, man. C'est vraiment une génération que ma femme et moi on débute. C'est au-delà de n'importe quel accomplissement. Tu sais. Il y a l'accomplissement avec elle, mais générationnel, it's extraordinary. Vraiment, là.
Wow.
Vraiment.
Félicitations, mon
Ouais.
chum.
Merci, man.
Congratulations.
Merci. Yeah.
Comment,
Vraiment.
comment que ça a changé, tu penses, ta routine le plus avec le travail, avec Céline?
Ouais. La routine, je pense que c'est plus adapté. Je pense que mon lifestyle est toujours pareil. Je travaille toujours fort, je suis toujours occupé, je m'entraîne quand même. C'est juste que je manque un peu de sommeil, mais la routine ne change pas. Un enfant, ça vient dans ton style de vie. Je ne change pas mon style de vie pour un enfant. C'est qu'elle vient dans mon style de vie. Donc, avec sa présence, comment on s'adapte, c'est juste ça qui change. Mais le style de vie, la routine reste pareil. On se lève tôt, on s'entraîne. Puis ça, c'est ma femme aussi, elle s'entraîne aussi. Elle est occupée, on travaille avec des clients. Ça change pas vraiment, je te dirais.
OK.
Ouais.
That's interesting. Puis là, en ce moment, Céline, elle travaille pas vraiment, j'imagine, elle est en travail?
Elle
ou,
travaille.
de chez elle?
Écoute, j'ai marié une femme qui aime travailler. Fait que ne pas travailler, c'est quasiment lui dire va en prison, quasiment. Là. Elle aime ça travailler, elle aime ce qu'elle fait, elle aime aider les gens. Comme elle trouve toujours des solutions dimanche, samedi, elle aime ça. Elle aime ça. Je pourrais jamais dire à ma femme arrête de travailler.
Ouais.
Même si elle aurait toutes les options, elle aime juste travailler. Elle se sent accomplie, puis j'aime ça, man. Je suis content que j'ai une femme auprès de moi qui est capable de continuellement aller hard, malgré qu'elle a eu un bébé, puis écoute, c'est comme si elle l'avait pas, quasiment.
Wow.
Ouais.
Puis c'est ça, like she's well, tout le processus a bien été. Puis,
Ouais, vraiment, tout a bien été. Thank God for that. Elle va bien. Elle est en bon état mental aussi. Parce que c'est pas juste physique. C'est tout un processus mental aussi. Puis écoute, every day is different. Chaque jour, on s'adapte. Des fois, l'énergie est moins là. Des fois, ça nous tente pas. Mais on trouve des façons de vivre avec tout ça. Make it happen.
Cheers, my friend.
Cheers, man.
Félicitations.
Merci.
Officiellement.
Merci, man.
On s'était même pas reparlé depuis ce
Ouais,
temps-là.
depuis, ouais.
Fait que c'est fou que c'est la première fois que j'entends ça, puis ça me fait
Ouais.
vraiment plaisir.
Merci, man. Puis on en parlait en plus, c'était un des objectifs, puis ça se produit, là. Donc je suis vraiment content, man.
Ouais, c'est ça. C'est fou parce qu'on a eu souvent cette conversation-là ensemble dans les dernières années, puis on se disait que c'était quelque chose qui nous motivait, qui qui nous inspirait de pouvoir éventuellement bâtir une legacy.
Yes.
Ce qui veut dire comme tout ce qu'on bâtit en termes d'entreprise, en termes de projet, de pouvoir éventuellement de léguer ça à notre prochaine génération.
Exactement.
Là, c'est fou que pour toi, c'est officially
ça arrive,
started.
là, ouais.
C'est officially commencé.
C'est un début, puis avoir la bonne personne pour bâtir ça, parce que ça, c'est... Il y a des gens qui travaillent pour la fin du mois, pour quelques années. Moi, c'est générationnel, puis commencer ça, bro, tu comprends pas. C'est le plus grand succès que tu peux avoir. C'est quelque chose qui vit au-delà de toi. Outlives you. Avoir une famille, un enfant, construire un kingdom, c'est ça. C'est que ça vit plus loin que toi. Parce que nous, on a une date d'expiration, mais ma fille, mes autres enfants, ils vont grandir. Puis les valeurs, tout ça, ça reste. C'est là que ça devient timeless. Et non quelque chose de temporaire ou au fin du mois, tu sais.
It's bigger than you.
It's bigger.
It's bigger than you.
Outlives. My name remains. That's the goal, man. It's really the goal.
I love that. So what will be, if I ask you, what will be the definition for you of a legacy?
Legacy for me, it's having my values in different generations. It's my values are living in different generations. So what I value is health, love, faith, respect, wealth, community building. All those values are transcended in different generations. That's legacy. That's legacy. Yes.
C'est pas juste, c'est oui tes entreprises, oui les projets que tu travailles en ce moment, mais c'est aussi les valeurs, c'est tes croyances, your faith.
C'est ça qui soutient en fait. Ouais. Parce que tu peux te léguer une entreprise, mais s'il n'y a pas la même culture, les valeurs, pas grand-chose qui reste. Tu vas les vendre ou tu vas les liquider. Ou si, par exemple, un autre plan, c'est d'être philanthrope. Si on n'a pas quelqu'un qui prend la relève ou qui believe, qui croit dans ces croyances-là, ces valeurs, il n'y a pas de legacy. Ça arrête seulement à une génération.
C'est vrai. Puis il y a beaucoup d'exemples de ça. Là. Il y a beaucoup d'exemples de familles très riches qui ont légué leur entreprise à leurs enfants, puis il n'y a pas eu nécessairement de relève.
Exact.
Parce que peut-être que les valeurs ont mal été comme enseignées, ont mal été transmises. Puis c'est vrai que c'est pas juste l'argent, c'est pas juste les entreprises que tu vas léguer, mais c'est aussi le knowledge, les connaissances, les valeurs. C'est ça qui vont faire qu'il va y avoir une fondation qui est solide.
C'est ce qu'on met sur... It's not what I give them, it's what I put in them. If whatever I put in them, ça a une plus grande rétention, tu sais. Ce que je leur donne, ça peut changer. Les industries changent, les marchés changent, la technologie change. Il y a des choses qui peuvent arriver, mais ce que j'ai légué en termes de valeur, connaissance, ça, c'est un plus gros levier que n'importe quoi, tu sais. C'est ça l'objectif. Fait que l'objectif, oui, c'est de travailler fort, faire tout ça, mais beyond all of it, c'est que est-ce que j'ai vraiment eu une empreinte, tu sais? J'ai pas juste passé quelque chose, j'ai laissé une empreinte. Que cette empreinte-là devient une autre empreinte. Là, ça fait un effet de levier. Et c'est là que tu fais vraiment une différence. Tu sais, quand tu vois les gens qui transforment des villes, des nations, des générations, ça en prend juste un qui a vraiment mis son empreinte, puis c'est fini, là. Tu sais. Fait que c'est ça l'objectif, puis pour moi, c'est ça le succès, là. Comme, il y a tellement de choses qui peuvent arriver, mais ça, là, c'est the main goal.
Comment tu penses que tu vas transmettre ça? Tu vas-tu commencer jeune? C'est quoi ton plan ou ta vision un peu par rapport à... Parce que c'est vraiment ton premier enfant. Fait que, j'imagine que c'est essai-erreur au début, mais je pense que tu as des très bons mentors proches de toi. Il y a des gens qui sont super proches de toi que je connais très bien, qui sont énormément inspirants puis qui ont déjà, je pense, quelques années d'avance là-dessus. Mais comment tu vois ça, justement, transmettre ces valeurs-là dans un enfant qui est jeune?
Au-delà de l'enfance, c'est pas juste l'enfant aussi, c'est la communauté. Tu sais, quand je parle de legacy, oui, mon enfant joue une partie importante, mais c'est les gens avec qui tu fais la différence aussi. Tes partenaires d'affaires, des volontaires avec qui tu bâtis tes communautés, des gens avec qui tu socialises, tu bâtis des liens, ça aussi fait partie d'un héritage. Parce que ces gens-là vont se rappeler de toi, ces gens-là vont retenir quelque chose de toi, tu sais. Puis je pense que moi, une façon, c'est que je commence par moi-même. Je dois inculquer ces valeurs-là avant. Je dois vivre comme ça avant. Je perds rarement mon temps à enseigner, mais d'être. Donc, je suis. So, if you follow me, si tu regardes comment je suis, comment je travaille, comment je traite ma femme, comment je traite mes partenaires d'affaires, mais ça devient une valeur plus que prendre le temps de dire comment faire, comment faire. Je suis avant cette personne-là. Donc, je suis les valeurs et les autres suivent ces valeurs-là. Tu comprends? Donc, ça commence par nous-mêmes avant. Puis après, c'est de projeter ça, puis de prendre le temps de l'enseigner, puis de bâtir autour de ça. Puis c'est là que ça consolide. Donc, premièrement, chez moi, par exemple, mon enfant, chez moi, je suis avant ce genre d'homme. Je suis cet homme qui respecte sa femme, qui travaille fort, qui fait une différence, qui fait de la business. Puis quand mes enfants vont ça, c'est plus facile après l'enseigner. Mais je dois l'être avant, pas juste parler que j'aimerais, tu sais.
C'est vrai, parce que dans le fond, les enfants, c'est ça qu'ils font. C'est qu'ils vont, ils vont
copie.
Copier leurs parents pendant
Exact.
les premières dizaines d'années. C'est ça qu'ils vont vouloir faire.
Exact.
Jusqu'à l'adolescence, ils vont vouloir faire le contraire.
Ouais, c'est ça.
That's normal, I guess. Mais c'est vrai que la meilleure manière d'enseigner, tu le dis, c'est de le faire par toi-même et de l'être.
Exact.
So that's going to be the best way to teach them your values is to actually
be the value first. Yes. Yeah. Once you are, it's easy to learn, to teach. Actually, you don't even need to teach it because they see it. Ça devient une référence. Tu sais. C'est même plus comme est-ce que je cherche. Non, c'est une référence.
Yeah.
So maintenant, c'est de consolider, de mettre des structures en place, de les impliquer dans certaines choses, de voir de day-to-day, qu'est-ce que tu fais, comment je travaille en équipe, comment on consolide les communautés, comment on bâtit ça ensemble, puis après, c'est là qu'ils pratiquent ces valeurs. Donc, ça prend un système, une structure pour qu'eux, ils pratiquent ça, mais ils l'apprennent à la maison avant. So, that's always, pourquoi depuis je me suis marié, ces valeurs-là sont les mêmes. Maintenant, avec mon enfant, c'est 2 fois plus, parce que ça devient encore plus important, tu sais.
Ouais. Interesting.
Yeah.
Ça fait du sens, en fait. Ça fait du sens. Fait que c'est plus facile qu'on le pense, mais ça commence de nous, en fait. Ça commence de nous, comment on aborde nos valeurs, puis on prend action là-dessus. Tu penses-tu, au niveau de l'école, est-ce que tu vas, like, which kind of, you have any extraordinary plan on that, or it's just going to be like Quebec school and...
Je regarde encore, j'ai quelques amis qu'on parle de projet, probablement de créer quelque chose d'intéressant, où on peut protéger toutes les connaissances qu'on a et tout. Mais on travaille encore là-dessus. C'est pas officiel, mais je dirais que l'éducation commence à la maison. Je fais pas confiance aux gens de juste enseigner mes enfants comme ça. Je contrôle, je dois avoir le contenu, je dois voir qu'est-ce qui se passe. Puis ça va au-delà de juste maths, français, là. C'est vraiment comme comment utiliser son esprit critique, comment socialiser avec des gens, comment saluer des gens. Ma fille, elle est toute petite, puis j'ai à faire rencontrer du monde. Je veux pas qu'elle soit trop timide, trop serrée, trop si. Je travaille avec elle. Donc, elle voit encore là, elle est trop petite pour comprendre. Mais quand je suis au téléphone, elle voit que je parle avec des clients. Donc, elle voit un peu mon style de vie. Puis, ça aussi, ça a une valeur. Comment je suis avec ma femme quand elle est là, elle voit que je prends soin d'elle. Donc, tout ça aussi, c'est plus cette éducation-là qu'on se focalise en ce moment-là.
Il y a juste 1 mois et demi, là.
Juste 1 mois et demi, mais c'est important qu'elle va au gym avec sa mère. Puis encore, elle comprend rien, mais c'est des habitudes qu'on a. Comme ça, on n'a pas à essayer. Non, on vit comme ça. C'est un lifestyle. Tu rentres dans un lifestyle.
You really see that she's seeing that.
Ouais.
She even though she's only one month and a half old, she's seeing that. She recognizes that.
Ouais. Elle le voit. Elle doit voir que, ok, papa est comme ça, maman est comme ça, maman s'entraîne, papa s'entraîne. Papa, il prend le téléphone, il prend des actions. Papa, il fait ci, il fait ça. C'est important. C'est pourquoi on met beaucoup de pression pour ça, tu sais. Mais ça a pris 10 ans pour se rendre là aussi, là. Ça a pris 10 ans. Ça fait 10 ans que je suis en relation avec ma femme. Puis c'est un résultat de 10 ans. Donc c'est un produit de 10 ans. C'est pas quelque chose, like, du jour au lendemain. On a vraiment pris le temps de travailler sur soi-même, de bâtir ses habitudes, de bâtir ses valeurs. Maintenant qu'on a un enfant, c'est facilement transmissible.
Yeah.
Mais ça a pris 10 years, you know.
10 years of marriage or?
Relation, 5 years of marriage.
5 years of marriage.
Mais c'est du travail personnel pour que ces valeurs-là restent constamment.
Ouais.
Ouais.
So how many kids do you want?
Man, I want 4.
4?
I want 4 kids, mais ça dépend de madame. Comment ça va? Comment c'est elle qui vit tout le processus aussi, là.
Ouais.
But my wife is a killer, man. So
She wants to have 4 too, she agrees? Or?
Elle veut 4 à 3.
4
on
à
a les
3,
mêmes.
Okay.
On a les mêmes goûts. Ouais. But she's ça dépend d'elle, sincèrement. On va commencer par 1.
Yeah, c'est ça.
Ouais.
You see how it goes, mais je pense aussi que c'est... Je suis du même avis que toi, là. Moi, j'en aurais 3, 4.
Ouais.
3, 4. C'est pour... moi, je suis enfant unique. Peut-être que des fois, j'ai jamais vraiment eu de... Vraiment ressenti le besoin que j'aurais aimé ça avoir des frères et sœurs, mais je pense que quand j'y repense maintenant, j'aurais probablement aimé ça.
Ça, c'est le fun, ça, ouais.
But you have brothers, right?
Ouais, j'ai un frère, j'ai une petite sœur, ouais. Ça fait une différence, définitivement. Comme surtout avec ma fille, ils veulent toujours être avec elle. It's love, it's family.
Ouais, c'est ça, exact.
Ouais.
C'est ça. Je pense qu'éventuellement, j'aurais aimé ça avoir ça. C'est pour ça que comme j'ai une cousine, une grande cousine, elle a peut-être 2 ans de plus que moi, mais elle n'a pas de frères et sœurs non plus, donc on a un peu cette relation-là, comme si on était frères et sœurs.
Ouais.
Mais on est cousins, cousines, mais depuis qu'on est jeune, on a tout le temps été plus proches. Fait que probablement que ça aurait été quelque chose que... Bref, je pense que c'est quelque chose que je voudrais avoir dans ma famille, là, comme plus qu'un enfant.
Quelle famille,
But you never know. Especially if you're building something big, you want a couple of children to be able to enjoy what you're building.
Parce que l'impact doit continuer, the message has to continue, the work has to continue. C'est ça le but. I mean, si tu bâtis pas pour que ton nom reste en génération en génération, c'est pas pour tout le monde, ça prend un effort, mais c'est ça le but de la vie, c'est de outlive yourself. C'est ça le but, max out, next, on continue, ça continue, tu sais. Ouais.
Justement, à propos du mariage, je vais parler de ça un peu.
Yeah, I love that subject.
You're one of the few friends that got married young.
Yeah.
And still in a beautiful relationship
22,
today.
yeah.
5 years ago, right?
Yeah.
Now I understand more and more that marriage is the foundation of society because the household is the first step that builds the next generation.
Yes, sir.
So as someone that has had a successful marriage, what advices would you give to younger people in their 20s, in their early 20s?
Yeah, thank you, man. Yes, I got married at 22, met my wife at 18, never went back from there. I think le conseil que je donnerais, the best advice I would give is to love intentionally, to love purposely, not to try love, but to be in love for real. I would say too to discover your self-love. If you know how you love, you will know how to receive love and how to give love. You have to know love. Love comes from intelligence of yourself. It's not just attraction or seduction, things like this. It's how you love yourself. It's how you love other people. It's a law of successful marriage is you have to know how you love and how you love other people. And find a partner to express that.
So how you receive love.
How you receive love.
How you want to receive love, how your partner likes to receive love.
Yes.
Sometimes that can be different.
Yes, it changes. It changes over time, but you have to know it. Some people, they freestyle, and that's why they have relationship issues sometimes. It's not that I change, it's the way I receive love change. You understand? So you always have to be connected to that. And it only comes by communicating. My wife is my best friend. Every Saturday, it's been like about 8 years. Every Saturday, I rarely missed a brunch with my wife. Rarely. Now my daughter, I bring her with me. These are the places where I get to know where's the love. are you still receiving the love the same way?
So you do a brunch, you go to a restaurant. That's
Yeah.
your weekly date, basically.
Yes, that's an almost non-negotiable. I rarely missed it. If I take meetings, it's after that. I rarely miss it. And for me, it's important to know who's in front of me because I'm at service of that person. I'm not just here to receive something all the time. I'm here to serve that person. I have to make sure I'm meeting her needs, that I'm the man that I'm supposed to be for her in the season that she is too. My wife is a mother now, so it changes. Her needs may change, and I have to be always up to date. Some people, they meet for the first time, and they think their partner is still the same. No, you have to follow the water.
No, everybody involved.
Exactly.
Everybody involved. I think that's one of the issues, like in a relationship. Sometimes, tu sais, des fois, on voit des gens qui ont des relations, ça fait des... Ils sont mariés depuis 20, 30, 40 ans. Ça m'a tout le temps fasciné parce que, sachant qu'on évolue, puis nos mentalités évoluent aussi, c'est peut-être, je pense que c'est un des issues pour lesquels il y a beaucoup de gens qui se séparent, il y a beaucoup de mariages qui, après 10-15 ans, se divorcent parce que les mentalités changent, les mentalités évoluent, puis pas nécessairement dans les mêmes directions.
Exact.
Mais il y a des gens qui sont mariés depuis 30, 40, 50 ans, puis qui ont réussi à aligner leur mentalité, à aligner leur évolution. Fait que comment que tu... En fait, tu le dis, là, c'est peut-être une des meilleures manières. Ça commence par là. Fait que toi, tu dis tu vas bruncher avec ta femme à chaque dimanche. Tu vas s'assurer de la comprendre, de s'aligner avec sa mentalité, puis qu'elle te comprenne aussi. C'est une des manières.
Je dirais même pour la boucle aussi, c'est que ça prend une vision commune pour être toujours à jour. Si on a deux visions différentes, c'est une division en fait. C'est division, deux visions, division. Mais si on a une vision commune, peu importe le changement d'habitude, de mentalité, on est les deux dans le même bateau. Et c'est ça qui aide beaucoup. Souvent, les gens se rendent compte, ils ont deux visions différentes pour leur mariage ou pour leur relation. Ça commence déjà par une division.
Oui, c'est
Puis
ça.
là, on essaye de faire semblant, on essaye de soutenir les deux bouts. Mais quand on a une vision commune, même si tes goûts changent, tes préférences changent, même si certaines industries changent, au moins on a une vision et peu importe ce qui arrive, on va toujours être aligné par cette vision-là. Puis c'est ça qui tient le couple. C'est qu'on a une vision commune. Peu importe ce qui arrive, on est ensemble dans la même vision.
Fait que vision au niveau de... comment que tu spreaderais out, mettons, cette vision-là. Vision au niveau de la famille.
De vie. Commencer par ça, tu sais. Ta femme peut être dans un domaine X, elle peut avoir une vision de s'accomplir personnellement, c'est correct. Vision de famille, est-ce qu'on a la même vision de famille? Est-ce qu'on a la même vision de religion, un exemple? Est-ce qu'on a la même vision de l'amour, de l'amitié? C'est des choses vraiment fondamentales. C'est là que la vision doit être. C'est quoi ta vision de vie? Est-ce qu'elle est semblable? Est-ce qu'on peut travailler vers cette vision de vie ensemble? Good. Let's build. And every day, we make sure it happens. That's how you stay in the boat. Peu importe les vagues, les marées, on est sur le même bateau parce qu'on a la même vision. That's the premise. Si tu commences pas par ça, tu as deux visions différentes, puis on essaie de joindre les bouts, c'est très, très difficile. C'est pas impossible, ça arrive, c'est très difficile de soutenir quelque chose comme ça.
Fait que c'est d'avoir vraiment une vision, mais sur les points fondamentaux de la vie. Là. Fait comme que tu dis, la famille, les valeurs, les croyances, comme tu dis, religieuses, ça, c'est absolument important aussi, ça c'est sûr. Mais ces 3-4 points-là fondamentaux, il faut que tu aies une vision.
C'est la base. Il faut que ça soit semblable.
Qui est semblable. Puis après ça, ce que tu dis, c'est que oui, vous allez évoluer, vous allez grandir, mais si cette fondation-là est la même, les chances que vous allez grandir dans la même... dans la même direction sont...
On va au même endroit. Fait peut-être que tu veux plus te réserver ou plus être upfront. C'est pas grave, mais on a la même vision. Puis c'est souvent la vision qui soutient tout le monde. Si tu n'as pas de vision, you perish. It doesn't work. No vision, there's no hope. Donc, quand il n'y a pas de vision, il n'y a pas de but, there's no purpose. Fait que c'est très important dès le départ d'avoir une vision similaire qui nous soutient. Parce qu'il va y avoir des moments difficiles. Puis c'est même pas obligé par rapport au couple, ça peut être individuel. Mais comment on va passer à travers ça, c'est notre vision. And it has to be attractive. Ça peut pas être plate.
It has to be motivated, for sure.
Ça doit être motivant, ça doit être gratifiant, ça doit être plus grand que juste être heureux, tu sais. Ça doit être comme, it has to be meaningful enough to keep you going. You gotta be inspired by it. Oh, babe, here's how I see our family. Here's what I want to accomplish in this world. Let's do it together. That's attractive.
Yeah.
Puis là, je te dis, il va y avoir des moments difficiles. And if you're doing something great, ça va être difficile. C'est garanti. Mais au moins, tu vas toujours être in the boat. Don't get out of it. Don't sink. Don't give up. Stay in the boat. That's attractive. That's how you build long-term relationship. 50, 40, 60, 80 years strong. Because we're still in the same boat. Yeah.
Well, that's great. You know, I'm sure we can say that the fact that you've been married young was in part caused by your strong spiritual belief.
Yes,
right?
Absolutely.
So how would you describe your relationship that you have with God when you first got married, from the moment that you first got married to the moment that now you have your first child?
Yeah, it's a great question, man. It's first of all, to start, my belief is I'm a Christian. And what I've learned in my belief is the power of a kingdom mindset, a kingdom life. What does it represent? It's a long-lasting, healthy relationship with God, with yourself. Because when you have a healthy relationship with God, you have a healthy relationship with yourself. Because now you understand how to love people, how to be better, how to feel better, how to give more. And from that, I was able to love somebody else better. Because it's a spiritual thing before it becomes physical. Everything starts spiritually. Everything. You want to win, you have to believe, you have to see it, you have to embody it. And those beliefs transcended into a healthy relationship. And now I'm able not to be just a better man, a better husband, a better father. Because first of all, I had a better relationship with God first. So c'est vraiment, ça commence en haut, spiritual, and then it start going down. Now you see the blessings. But if you miss the spiritual part, it's very hard to hold it down there. Because spiritually, that's how you're going to be able to withstand all of it. Si je suis pas bien spirituellement, je peux pas donner de l'affection, l'amour. Je peux pas être une bonne personne. Je vais crosser tout le monde.
Ça, c'est la fondation.
C'est la fondation. It's my belief. Puis il y a des principes spirituels, bibliques, qui m'ont permis d'avoir ces relations. C'est pas une opinion où je vague. Non, je suis les principes bibliques. Et à partir de ces principes, quand tu les... That's why they live up to times. They're timeless. Because they work in the real world. Once you embody them, you see the fruit of it. And that was really the best way. C'était une instruction pour moi de savoir comment être un bon homme dans cette terre. Tu sais. Comment vivre dans cette terre. Comment être un bon mari, un bon époux, un bon père, un bon homme d'affaires. That's where it starts.
Yeah, there's a lot of power to that, right?
Yeah.
Even for people that are not necessarily Christian or do not necessarily believe in the same definition of God than Christian, or there's a power to know that there's a higher force.
Yes.
That is more powerful, more like that is larger than society itself. That actually is behind you, that is close to you, or there's some power in that. There's some and even though I will even argue that even though God doesn't exist, the fact that you believe that there's a power in that, because you feel more confident, you feel more il y a plus de comment je pourrais expliquer ça, il y a plus de confidence, de strength, de plus de force
Je comprends.
dans tes actions de tous les jours,
Yeah.
parce que tu sais qu'il y a une force supérieure qui te soutient, that supports
Absolument.
you.
Absolument.
An
There's a lot
incredible
of
power in
yes.
that. And I believe that there's a God, I believe there's a higher force. Mais je pense que my own journey was maybe different than you. I think a lot of things that you understood young, I didn't believe in it. Mais maintenant que plus que je le comprends, plus que je crois que si j'avais compris ça plus jeune, maybe I would even be plus loin que je le suis en ce moment dans ce que je veux accomplir and what I want to build. So I really believe there's a great power into that. And puis comme que tu dis, c'est like what's going on in your head.
Yeah.
So your spiritual foundation is the foundation of everything.
Yes.
Everything that you're going to do in life, if your spiritual connection or if your spiritual foundation and principle are not aligned,
ça marchera pas. Il y a trois parties dans un être humain. Il y a le spirituel, il y a le physique, puis il y a l'esprit, il y a le... Je ne vais pas confondre tout le monde, mais ces trois parties-là, il faut que tu les traites dans les dimensions auxquelles ils doivent être appliqués. Si tu veux perdre du poids, il faut que tu t'entraînes. It's physical, right? Si tu veux heal spiritually, you have to deal with it spiritually. Souvent, ce qui arrive, c'est que on essaie de prendre des actions physiques pour guérir nos problèmes spirituels. And it doesn't work. So what we do, we end up taking drugs or hurting other people or just committing to certain patterns that we don't even realize, where it's really a spiritual issue and it has to be dealt spiritually. So souvent, on pense que spirituel, c'est juste comme, c'est quoi, j'y pense, puis c'est juste spirituel. No, like you said, there's a force. There's actually a God who's able to give you that spiritual strength to grow through those times. Parce que beaucoup de problèmes qu'on a dans la société actuelle, it's a spiritual problem. It's not resource. It's not about people. It's not about all those things. It's a spiritual belief. C'est les principes. Comment vivre en communauté, comment s'aimer. Quand tu vois des problèmes de relation, it's a lack of spiritual belief. Parce que si on a une croyance spirituelle, ben là, on va pouvoir faire du bien aux autres. On va pouvoir faire des transactions de la meilleure façon. On va pouvoir aimer les gens de la meilleure façon parce qu'on a une base spirituelle basée sur des principes spirituels. So a lot of it, it's a lack of spiritual work. And we need to grow spiritually to be better human beings. And to be better men. We need to do the work spiritually. It doesn't just happen by doing good. You gotta surrender. You have to build your strength. You have to go back to your beliefs and ground in that. That's how you're able to show up to the world.
Yeah.
And forgive people and love people and do good and be driven by helping and serving. It starts there.
It starts there.
It starts there. Yeah.
And I agree. I agree on that. I can agree on that because the few couple that I know that have beautiful families and that are married since years and that inspired me the most to build my own family eventually and to, because I'm not there yet, but eventually that's what I want to build. Exactly, it's a work in progress, but all these people, all these families, these couple that inspired me the most, for some reason they are all extremely well connected spiritually.
Yes.
They are either religious or well connected spiritually, but usually they are, they believe in something that is as foundational as the Bible.
Yeah.
So yeah, I have many proof of that.
Yeah, there's
and
power in that.
What it actually does. You the first.
Yeah. I mean,
you the first.
To be sitting there, I mean, it's not just my experience. It's really there's principle and there's patterns to follow to stay married for a long time, because society doesn't show. You can't just go with your your own strength.
No, exactly.
You know, I have to be the dreams that I have, the goals that I have is I need spiritual force to make them happen.
Yeah.
Some people they say it's a different form, but it's actually a spiritual strength.
Especially nowadays when society is kind of trying to tell you the complete opposite. That's why I'm afraid, I'm afraid of my children going to school right now.
Yeah.
When I'm going to have children and what is it going to be in 4 or 5 years, I don't know. So I'm kind of afraid, like society is getting into a turn right now where it's the complete opposite of that. And it seems like where we're going is in some places where these actions are going to dismantle families.
Yeah.
Marriage is not important anymore. It's the complete opposite. And as I've said, I believe marriage is the foundation of society. This is because the household, again, is the first thing that your children are going to see when they grow up. And that's their first 10 years. That's what count the most.
Yeah.
So I'm kind of worried about where society is going.
Yeah.
But I believe that with people like you, families like you, and friends and communities, and it's just refreshing to see that there's still people that believe in these values.
Yes,
there's a few. Yeah, correct. That will produce the next a part of the next generation that is still going to be on track and still going to be solid and still going to be great in their values. And we need people like you to build the next generation.
That's why we're heavily implemented. For example, in our church, Essential Church. Shout out to Essential Church. We're building like great communities. We're spreading values. We're spreading love. I think people need love, man. It's crazy. Like so many suicide. I've met men that are borderline suicide, and we meet, and just me sharing love to them, it was able to like, all right, bro, you know what? It helped me out, Like, we need people like this. And the only way you could do that, it's really by having those spiritual, strong beliefs. The love of God, the love for people, the love for the community. These are values that we're working hard to continue in spreading, and especially with young people. The love is actually the motivation. It's the motivation. It's the love and the hate of death and people suffering and people hurting each other. It's just so hurtful, man. Families are breaking down. People are hurting themselves. They don't have alternatives. They're going towards drugs, and because they don't know other ways. We're not judging them. It's just they don't know the other way. They haven't experienced something else. And that's why my wife and I and a whole community, we're like working and pushing weeks and weeks. We're spreading the word. We're spreading the love so people could always find a place where they could heal, where they could become better human beings, and they come out and spread it to other people. So that's really why we do this. When I talk about generational, these are the things that our society needs. People are in pain. People are suffering. They don't have a reference. The only reference is short dopamine.
Short dopamine.
Short dopamine. It doesn't last. And only spiritual transformation. And I'm really proud of what we're doing right now in Essential, and we're doing great work. Very good work. Yeah.
Yeah, I want to congratulate you on that for sure. It's been, it's been maybe 5 or 6 years that I know George and his family that started the church.
Amazing guy. Yeah.
Amazing people. Shout out to them.
Shout
out to them. Seriously, like these are one of the family that I know personally that have inspired me the most into building a successful family, building a successful legacy like these guys are.
It's amazing.
Literally incredible.
I have it like they're part of the 0.1, like 0.0001% of people making a crazy difference. They've done in my life, and they do it in thousands of lives, and they're hungrier and they want to do more. And their vision is so inspiring for Montreal and everything that we're gonna do in Canada. It's just crazy. It's just crazy what's coming, and they're doing it one person at a time, and it's impacting a lot of people right this moment as we speak. At this moment, it's crazy what's happening right now.
And they're young, right? Jordan's probably 34, 35?
Around 40, yeah.
Around
early
40?
40s.
Early
40s.
See, I thought it was 35. Shout out to George.
Early 40s. I think these people, man, it's again.
They have a long way. They have still a lot of time to build what they're building.
The love is undescribable. The way they love people, the way they love their families. It's crazy, man. I haven't seen that. I haven't seen that
nowhere. Seriously,
it's very inspiring. Yeah.
Me neither.
Yeah.
Another thing I want to talk about. You just had your real estate license.
Yes.
But you were a real estate investor before, right?
Yeah.
So I know you did a lot of real estate projects in the past years. We talked a lot about real estate investment in recent years.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to just get your take on that. We are close to getting into 2024.
Mm-hmm.
Interest rate is
high,
probably at a yearly high. So we are probably finished with that hiking cycle. What we think, and what most experts think, is that we're probably going to start cutting rates 2 or 3 times next year. So how do you see that in terms of affecting the real estate market in 2024? Do you think that it's going to be good? What kind of opportunity are you looking in?
Yeah.
I just want to pick your brain on that.
Yeah, sure. In Quebec, the market in Quebec, I'll speak for Quebec. What I've noticed, there's never been so much transaction in a year in the market like this. Last time I checked, it was 93,000 transactions right now in the market. It's funny because the news says, it's not a good time to buy and this and that, but there's never been much transaction right now. The simple reason why is
even in December,
the reason why, it's simply because we're having assets in a cheaper price, period. And because of that, we're having assets under $100,000 compared to COVID. Now people are buying more assets that are going to be valued over the years. Before, we used to pay $100 more and then $200 more for these assets. Now they're cheaper. And because of that, a lot of people, a lot of investors are attracted by those assets. They're buying them, they're holding them for the long term. This is the wealth gap. The wealth gap is right now. And what's going to happen is when interest rates going to drop, more participants are going to come in the market. There's going to be more competition. And you're going to probably have to pay more for that same assets. So many of our clients now, they're buying assets under $100K because they know when interest is going to be low, they has no choice but to appreciate over time. And right now in 2023, end of 2023, 24, this is the best time to really go heavy on buying assets. Because the same house that used to be sold for $500, right now you could get it at $420 in the market. And it hasn't happened for a long time. The last time it happened, it was quite some time.
Yeah. Do you see a lot of negotiation going on in the market right now?
Yeah, aggressively.
Like aggressively, exactly.
We're negotiating aggressively. We have $50,000-$40,000 rebate for our clients aggressively.
That's what I will do. There's people that there's always, as you said, the news and everything. There's always people that are going to say no, it's not a good time to buy. Interest rates are too high. But the truth is, if you're a real investor, you know that any types of market, there's opportunities.
Always,
And it's funny that you say that because I'm a believer that in the past, year and a half, if you would have been, and it's still going to be, that way in 2024, in the beginning of 2024. But if you would have, the best strategy to buy would have been to just pick a property, pick the type of property you want, and make 10 really low ball offers. and there's gonna be one or two that are gonna be accepting your offer, even though it's 30-40% off the market.
Yeah.
Because interest rates are too high and they cannot pay their property. They want to, put their money elsewhere. Yeah. So that is still, the best way. So that is still the best way right now.
Mm-hmm.
And in 2024, when the rates are going to start cutting again, it's still going to be kind of the same type of market. But as you said, there are going to be a lot of participants, more demand.
Yeah. A lot more mortgage applications are coming when the rates are going to drop. But the thing is, the more people are running away from those rates, the better it is. It's better to pay an extra $500 for a mortgage, but your asset is valuing pretty quickly after 2 years. For example, I'll give you a simple strategy right now. If someone buys a house for $480, let's say in the north side of Montreal, you buy it for $480. In 2 years' time, this asset will be worth $580. Guarantee. I don't like to guarantee in finance, but I could almost guarantee $580.
Almost, yeah.
Because of the negotiation process in hand and the interest rates. People are expecting lowball offers. It's not like they're trying to avoid it. People are expecting lowball offers right now.
Right, because that's what most investors are doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And depending on the product you're buying, if it's a condo, if it's a plex, or if it's a single home, whatever product you're going to buy right now is going to be a sure investment for the next 2 years easily.
At least for the time that they're going to... I mean, real estate is always a sure investment on the long term.
Yeah.
I'm a big believer of that. But at least for the next year, when they're going to start cutting rates, as you said, the more they're going to start cutting rates, the more they cut the rates, the more demand there's going to be in the market. And the more demand, eventually the price are going to, it's all cycle. We're going to live again, eventually, the time just like 2017, 2018, which is the time that I first got into the real estate market in Montreal. Bought a condo in Griffintown when Griffintown was kind of starting, as a new neighborhood in Montreal. And I bought on plan, which means that the condo wasn't built yet, in pre-construction, right? And I ended up selling it for 15 months after for 40% more in appreciation from the first price that I bought. So that was my first real estate experience in 2017.
It's a great one.
Yeah, but the reason why, because that's not because I was extremely smart in real estate, but the reason why was because we were in that kind of cycle where the rates were extremely low, the international investors' demand was extremely high, and that's maybe 7 years ago now. So real estate is all about 10-12 year cycle, if you agree with me. So as soon as they start cutting the rates, we're gonna live that kind of time again.
We're gonna have more people. Let's say right now for one home, there might be 4 or 5 buyers right now with the market. When the interest rate goes low, we could go to 8-9 people in the same house.
Yeah.
And when they drop lower, it's going to be more. And you would be surprised. There's still a bit of competition on certain price. Investing is not always about cutting prices. It's about buying a product the right way. If you buy well, you have a good investment. It's not always about the price. It's how well are you buying? Where's the market that you're buying in? What's the long-term horizon? What's the short-term horizon? If you could buy an investment, some people, we have clients that are buying properties. I'm like, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't buy a property like that. But it suits that person because they bought it well in a good market, in the right place, with the long-term objective. That's why real estate, it's a no-brainer. There's mistake, yes, but you have to buy well. Above cutting prices, you have to just have the right purchase.
It depends on your strategy and your situation.
Exactly. Yeah.
And that's your job as a broker to guide the person toward buying in the right way for them.
Absolutely.
Not necessarily what will you do, but what will you do if you were in their situation.
I don't work with someone if I don't know their goals. I want a house. Okay, I mean, I can't help you.
Exactly.
Like,
What's your
tell me more about it? What's the long-term goal? Is it for comfort? Is it for an investment? Is it for a short-term investment? Like, what is it? Is it for saving taxes? I need to know. Once I know exactly what the client is looking for, now I could find the product for it and the specific market and niche for it, and then from there we work it out. And of course, personality. I don't like to work with people I don't get along well.
exactly, of course. No, but you have a choice for that. For sure.
Yeah, but it's really starts with the goal. If there's no goal, we can't work. There needs to be a goal.
So what will be your goal in 2024? What type of investment are you either looking at or are you interested in? What's going to be your next project? I know that you build a cottage this year.
Yeah.
Is it finished, by the way? Is it done?
Yeah. It's done. It's done.
It's available to rent?
We're making actually. We haven't talked for a moment. That's why. But I'm actually a developer, so I develop cottages in different places, and right now we're building around 8 to 10 cottages in the north. Those are luxury product. Yeah.
So for other clients, basically.
Yeah, luxurious product, and they just go fast. It's a different market. It's mostly people that are looking for second homes or short rental properties for them, and we're building one house at a time, one cottage at a time, and what we're doing now is we're selling them on plans for people that are interested, and we're giving them different design, different texture, or things that they're looking for. And then, in different sectors right now in the north of Montreal. Yeah.
That's, bro, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
The last news I had is that you were building your own cottage.
Yeah.
Which is...
So that's actually current, yes.
Okay,
yeah,
right.
That's
so
current.
you are renting it right now?
No, we haven't started the process. We probably had a better offer on the cottage. We had someone who was really, really desperately interested
to buy it.
Yeah,
okay,
to buy.
Right.
But we have different cottages we're building, like I said, and because of these, we're able to move around and find different alternatives too. But I think he really wants it. And he gave me an attractive offer.
Well, exactly.
Yeah.
You can still put out this money into another
different
in
investment, build a bigger one and things like this.
Correct, exactly.
But yeah, right now I'm not just a real estate broker. I'm also a developer, and we just carry the vision. We build a team. We bring the people in. We bring the client who's interested about the product. We find the builders who could build the product in the right sector. So we're really like the guy who's behind all of it. I don't know how to build a house. I know how it works, but I never laid a brick. But I know how to put people together to build something nice. And right now, I think there's a demand for it. And I was able to answer that demand. And we're continuing building that repertoire right now. Yeah.
Nice. I believe that cottages and chalet in Quebec it's always been interesting to me. I've invested a lot in Airbnbs in the past years, which were mostly downtown, but I know that cottages are kind of the rental asset that people don't really talk about.
Yeah.
But in terms of cash flow, that's the best you can get.
Yeah.
That's the best you can get in Quebec.
Yeah.
So
we're investing in a traditional business. I mean,
right.
Chalet cottages has always been a place where you reunite with your family, where you strategize the next year, where you connect with your loved ones, where you really took this time to really resource yourself. There's a lot of sentiment value in a cottage. And most people, their life goals after working hard is to have a cottage. Most people, they take their money, they leave the city, and they retire in a cottage. So it's a product that's always been in demand. People need it. It's a tradition. It's a tradition, and tradition business never go away because it lives over and over and over and over. I mean, cottages existed way before us. Way before we were born, people were renting cottages, and now it's even more and more important. that people need cottages.
Yeah,
Is
especially
it
after COVID, right? Like
especially
a lot
after
of people
COVID?
just
Some people they can't afford to travel, but they
correct.
want to have an experience. They could find a cottage to have that experience, and we're gonna. I think there's still opportunities, and we're gonna continue building that market. And yeah.
So what kind of what's the exact neighborhood that you're
So
building
right
in?
now we're at Saint-Côme.
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 The close to Tremblant, probably.
Not too far.
Not too
We
far.
have other lands and different sectors close to Tremblant. There's so many developers there. It's almost a secret. Like people are really building a lot of things out there, and because people need it, there's a need for a trend that's coming right now. They call it condotel. So it's a condo like a hotel
Condo hotel. Yeah.
near skis and things like this. They go in the fly. People are buying these products, and it becomes more and more like a portfolio almost for people to have a cottage to do their short-term rentals. Yeah.
So in terms of building your own real estate portfolio, that's what you will be looking more for in the next year. That's going to be more into cottage field.
That's part of our portfolio is cottages for sure, and other investment, commercial and different multi-residential investment as well. But for now, we're acquiring a lot of lands where we operate our developments right now. Yeah.
Correct. Okay, but you're still going to be looking at some
Absolutely.
plexes, or are
Absolutely.
you still interested in that? Or
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. We're working on plexes too, commercial side. So that means we're looking at 6 and plus in different sectors, especially in the south of Montreal. I think there's a huge market there too to exploit.
Yeah.
So we're working in that area right this moment. Yeah.
Okay. So anyone that for anyone that wants to start investing in real estate in 2024, what kind of advices will you give them? What would you say to someone in their early 20s, or maybe mid 20s that wants to get into real estate, never got the chance, but is ready in 2024 with the current interest rate, with the current market cycle? What will be your advices?
So to invest, for an investor, I would always say to start small, because it's easier to manage. It's easier to scale from there. If you're not depending on your experience, you might be someone who could gather multiple funds and do bigger projects. But most people in the 20s that doesn't have a lot of information, I recommend them to start either with a condo or a duplex. The simple reason is you don't need a lot of financial at front. You need 5% to start. 5% of the value of the home price, and from there you scale up. You rent, you refinance, you take the money out, you recycle somewhere else, or you sell and you take the money like you did in 2017 and invest it somewhere else. So I think off pre-construction is good too. When you start, the payment process are not too demanding. 5K here, 6, 7. You could start reserving a few lots. It's a good way to start, in my opinion. And then
because basically when you buy a condo, for people that don't understand, when you buy in pre-construction, let's say the property is going to be ready in 6 months.
Yeah.
6 months. You have 6 to 8 months that you're not paying any mortgages,
Exactly.
but you still have the right to the property.
Exactly.
So if the market appreciates during that time frame, you're gonna make
Yeah.
the appreciation without paying anything.
Without paying anything,
Correct.
you could
So
sell it right away.
You can sell it right
Or
away as well.
refinance it. So there's a lot of strategies, but to start, I always start small, because real estate could be overwhelming depending on, it's a business that requires money, experience too. So start small, something that's easily manageable, and from there you scale. From there you scale. Once you have your first investment, it's easier after. You just print money from there, and then you finance other things, and you get the ball rolling from there.
Yeah. Because refinancing is extremely powerful as well.
Very, very powerful.
For people that don't get really, the fact of refinancing a property, when you have, there's two elements when you buy a property. You're gonna have your mortgage, and you're gonna have the appreciation. And the mortgage is getting down every month. It's diminishing every month. So you owe less, basically, because the tenants that is in your property will pay the debt.
Yeah.
So the tenant is keeping the mortgage to go down every month for you, but if you're in a good market, the market is going to appreciate. So the gap between your debt and the mortgage, your debt and the market the market price, value, market value, correct, is your equity. And at some point you can, by doing a new mortgage, if there's a difference between your mortgage and the market price, you can take out this equity. And
tax-free, by the way.
Tax-free because you didn't sell any property, so there is no capital gain. And from that, you can take that equity and buy another property.
Yes, sir.
And then keep going on and on and on. That's how wealthy family have.
So you just need to start with one. You just need to start with one. Once you start with one, that's easily manageable. You know, I say condo because, you know, it's just one tenant. The product is usually condos are pretty recent. So they're in good state. There's not too much management to do. You start with that. And then you go from there. You just got to buy it in the right market and have it buy it well, like I said, and then move up from there and build equity. And like you said, buy other things, refinance, buy other things, or a duplex if you can, and keep your job. Because your job helps you.
Or your business.
That too. Allows you to finance other projects. I know a lot of people that leverage their finances because they were able to prove it as a mortgage application to be able to get other assets because they have enough income to acquire other assets. So that's very important as well. That's a point that people don't know, but you could use your main source of income as proof for mortgages. And as long as you have a good proof of finances, that you keep that for at least 5 years or so, you could do well every year. You could pretty much buy something every year. And after 5 years, you have a park of $1 million and plus. From there, you could refinance everything and do something great, you know.
Correct. So I think that there was one of the issue in the past year because interest rates were so high. What it did is that the requirement from the bank, they required a higher salary than the average. That basically what it was before. So people that were making like the ratio between the buying price and of the property that they wanted to buy and their salary was like too low basically. Too low, if you were making $200K a year, you couldn't buy something that was $500,000. That was because the interest rates were so
crazy.
high.
Yeah, and debt too. Debt is part of it. It's not just income.
Correct.
I think your debt to income ratio right now, if you go between 38 to 40%, there are banks that are willing to finance the purchase.
Correct. But now the interest rates are going to go down, so it's going to make it easier for anyone that that have a good salary. The ratio is going to be more accommodating, favorable for them for their first or second properties.
I think a quick thing people could do is to just basically have a mortgage application. Just check it out. Check to see right now what can you acquire with your current situation, and then work with it. A lot of people are waiting 5-10 years to save $100K to do something. With what you have, what can we do with the money that you have? And from there, once you know your budget from the bank, now you could probably get the ball rolling. Maybe you thought it was 10 years, but it's actually 3 years, right? And partner up with people. I like deals with collaboration because collaboration always speeds up the process. Some people, they can't buy by themselves. We have clients where they're bringing a family member in to close the deals, but they know after 3 years they're going to refinance and qualify for themselves and get them paid out for a moment. So there's so much strategies. You just got to start.
Just got to start and find the right people like you that can guide them towards building the right strategy.
Yes. There's so many strategies. You can't Google them. They won't tell you. We know them.
It's like anything. It's like in finance.
You can't Google.
The best secrets are not kept by Google.
No. You got to find the right people. Yeah.
So people that, that wants to do their first purchase in real estate next year, how can they find you? What's the best way to reach out?
So I'm easily accessible to Instagram, Facebook. I have all my information there, and I have a lot of content to actually give people a sense. I believe in giving value first. If you go, I have an ebook there. We do webinars every month to educate people about real estate, to show them what's the blueprint, how to start, videos that give tips on how to start.
So Instagram and Facebook.
Instagram, Facebook. You go there, you find all
Adrien?
Polvsen Adrien, yes.
Polvsen Adrien.
You find everything there, and you send me a message. Usually I call inside of 24 hours, usually.
Okay.
Yeah.
Polvsen, it was great.
Thank you, man.
It was great, my friend. Yeah, I think that's a good ending.
Yes.
People can reach you out on Instagram and Facebook on that name. I'm going to put the link in the description.
Yes.
But man, thank you for being there.
My pleasure, my friend. Thank you for allowing me to share again values and beliefs and everything that's possible, man. I appreciate that.
You know,
really.
I think you're an extremely interesting person because you're not only business smart, not only investing smart, but you also, you have a lot of knowledge about spirituality, family, great values. So honestly, it was just great to have you have this talk, have this good conversation with you, and I'm glad this was recorded. I'm sure it's going to bring a lot of value to anyone that will listen to it.
Thank you, man.
So thank you, my friend. Bye, everyone.